So we have the 9th house coming out here. This is all about adventures, higher education, higher learning, travel. So that energy being activated, this deeper sense of faith being cultivated and developed here, morals, values, personal integrity. So a lot of breakthroughs surrounding all of that energy. And the North Node, destiny. All right, this is beautiful. So this is like breakthroughs for people regarding their life path and purpose, which makes perfect sense with the eclipse that we just had, that was so closely aligned with that North Node energy. All right, so huge breakthroughs, perhaps opportunities for travel that are going to provide create some type of connection or networking opportunity, create some type of perhaps facilitate learning and knowledge, gaining the knowledge that we need in order to continue moving along our path, our life path, the path of our Dharma. All right, so it's like receiving that information, meeting that mentor perhaps, making those connections that help us to succeed when it comes to our life purpose, when it comes to our Dharma. All right, powerful soul lessons as well, the resolution of karma, the activation, if you will, of the lessons necessary in order to, like, it's like the way that I see it is almost like the karma had to be sorted out. It had to be cleared so that we could move through the next doorway. So that it was like an activation. It's like after we clear that, we complete that old cycle. It's like another doorway is activated or opened for us. Another aspect of our experience on this planet in this incarnation is like comes online, right? Another aspect of our soul journey comes online, I guess, is like, I'm having a really difficult time explaining what I'm seeing in my mind. All right. But it's like paving the way, moving the way forward. This is really powerful. Some people may be called to go on spiritual pilgrimages at this time. To definitely like relating to travel. So wherever it is, wherever your personal Mecca is. I know for me it was Egypt when I went on that trip back in 2020. I am seeing a camel here. I'm also seeing a mountain. This could be a metaphysical mountain or a literal mountain. But it's a pinnacle. There's like pinnacle moments here. All right. We have the semi-sextile allowing. So this is all about this gentle energy. So it's not a semi-sextile. It's not a full sextile, right? It's not that full intensity of energy. It's very subtle. So it's this beautiful and gentle energy of allowing and surrender. Yeah. Tell me more. We have the 5th house on the bottom of the deck here. So for some people, this definitely has to do with blessings in creative exploits. We have the trine. Yeah, so there's a lot of gentle harmonic energy here, harmonizing energy. So what I'm feeling from this is like this energy that this blessing, the blessing or the breakthrough here is like less struggle, less feeling like if you're climbing this mountain, like it's this uphill battle. It's sort of like if you're hiking and you are climbing a mountain and you get to those parts where it's really, really steep and it's really hard. You're like literally grappling onto the rock in order to get to, it's like clawing your way up, right? And then you get to the points where the ascent is a little bit more, it like levels off a little bit and it's not as intense of a climb for a time. That's like the energy. This is sort of like the era that I feel some people moving into, where it doesn't feel quite, you're still ascending, you're still climbing the mountain, but it's not as grueling of a task, if that makes sense. Yeah, sextile opportunities, right? So we move from the semi-sextile, right? We move into this energy of surrender, of allowing, instead of trying to force things, just going with the flow of how things are actually unfolding, releasing the fear, releasing the worry, right? We step into go with the flow with the trine. And then that moves us from the semi-sextile to the full sextile. And this is where the energy is fully activated. This is where it picks up velocity and speed again. And this is where the opportunities, it's like we surrender to the flow and the opportunities naturally present themselves. All right, we have the Leo card on the bottom of the deck. We have the 5th house card. So for some people, this has to do with performance. This has to do with being in the public eye. This has to do with any of those qualities where you are the focal point, where you are the sun, right? That energy where you're bringing that magnetism in. People are listening to you. You are in some type of like the forefront, the foreground. All right. 6th house on the bottom of the deck, craft. This is about all the little details and putting them together. This is once again apprenticeship. So really feeling that energy for some people of working with mentors here. It's also about spirit saying crafting like breakthroughs when it comes to this energy of understanding the importance and being able to if you've been trying to integrate new habits into your life, like the habits that create a successful mental state, physical state, emotional state, and you've been struggling with the integration of that energy is going to be coming through as well, like a greater ease when it comes to, like, say for instance, I know I've been trying to work with my diet, and I say trying, we don't try, we do or do not, right? So I have not been successful in that. I've been semi-successful, right? Semi-sextile, but not fully successful with that yet. And so it's like things like that. It's like we're getting that extra boost that allows us to take that right action and to really begin to integrate these new habits where it's like we might do it one day, something, for instance, like meditation or eating right? We do it one day and then we kind of fall off for a few days and then we remember and we do it again. But because it hasn't been a daily practice, it's hard to move into that energy and really incorporate it into our life in a meaningful way that creates the kind of change that we're wanting to create with it. You know, it's like if you go to the gym and you work out once every 2 weeks, you're not going to see any real results from that. But if you work out multiple times a week, you will, right? And so it's that kind of an energy. And like Spirit's saying, like, really, like, we might have to do take some steps, like set an alarm on your phone that reminds you when you're supposed to be working out, that reminds you when you're supposed to meditate. It's like these things seem arbitrary and they seem obnoxious sometimes and not very fun or interesting, but they are absolutely, it's like the 6th house Virgo energy is all about all the little practical steps. All right, it's like all the fine detail work that goes into creating the bigger picture and being able to sustain that. All right, then we have the 8th house, intimacy, investments. Some people maybe inheritances may be coming through for people. For some people, this isn't like a physical monetary inheritance, although I actually really feel for at least one person finding this video, it is. All right, and if that comes through the death of a loved one or something, my condolences, right? But for some people, it feels like a spiritual inheritance. Like you are spiritually wealthy. You're spiritual royalty in a sense, but that hasn't trickled out into the material realm. And like that inheritance is coming through because you've been putting in the work. And that was the point, putting in the work, putting in the reps, like we talked about with the 6th house card, okay? This is also like past life gifts and abilities coming online, right? Stepping into and embodying our power on a deeper level. It's like powerful ascension codes coming from this meeting of Jupiter and Uranus. Powerful downloads. And like we talked about in the Mercury retrograde astrology video, it takes a while for that to all trickle down through. It's like these downloads come in on a super conscious level most of the time. Sometimes they come down on a conscious level. And that's why I think a lot of times when I say we're getting downloads, a lot of us, including myself, and that's why I'm sharing this right now, this is for me as well. I'm like, and many of us might be like, okay, like nothing profound came through, right? Where are the downloads? They come in on a super conscious level, trickle down into the subconscious, and eventually trickle out into the consciousness. All right. It's that process of energy. So for some people, that trickle down effect is finally taking root. Or there's a brand new download and activation of really powerful one that's first shifting you on a cellular level. Some of these downloads never even come into the consciousness. They don't need to. They sit in the subconscious level. I guess maybe not the superconscious level, because at the superconscious level, we know everything already. That's the level where the downloads already exist, right? So they come down through the subconscious. And sometimes they just sit there and that's all we need. We don't need them to come out into the consciousness, but sometimes we do. All right, so just trust whatever is coming through or not coming through for you. All right, and then Saturn. I knew Saturn. I saw Saturn on the bottom of the deck. Coming out, letting itself be known here. This is the greater wisdom. This is the karmic clearing that we were talking about. The powerful ending of those karmic cycles. This is all about that, also about that development of discipline, like we were talking about. Real breakthroughs coming through with that, which discipline, self-control, self-modulation. And that energy is going to be really helpful. Like, that's honestly one of the most powerful breakthroughs I'm seeing here for people. As not exciting as Saturn energy sometimes is, like the Virgo and Virgo was on the bottom of the deck. I just forgot to pull it out. I just kept shuffling. The Virgo and the Saturnian energies, all right? Because those are the energies that have the greatest impact over time. It's the little things that we do on a daily level. Those are the things that make the biggest difference. Those are the biggest breakthroughs. Okay, those are the biggest blessings. So if nothing like super exciting, if you're not traveling to a foreign country or like having some crazy breakthrough like that, meeting the mentor of your dreams, if it's the more subtle breakthroughs that you're having in gifts and blessings of like discipline and focus, like that is ultimately worth its weight in gold. All right, because that energy will carry forward into everything you do. And that is the energy of a successful person. This energy of grounding, all right? Wisdom gained through powerful soul lessons. It's like the understanding, the wisdom finally, in order to complete that lesson. The wisdom and the understanding and the ability to put it all together. All right, one more card here. Third house, perception. This is the shifts in the mind, the mental energy. All right. Also hugely important. I'm also feeling for some people there's like breakthroughs surrounding family, especially siblings coming through. If you've had a disagreement, if you haven't seen eye to eye, if you've just like not felt very connected to your siblings, perhaps one of your siblings is coming through. Ooh, this is interesting for some people. Sharing a truth about your past that you had denied or suppressed or repressed. They're like going through their own healing around something traumatic that happened in childhood, and they bring that to you. And it opens up something within you, memories within you that you had repressed so that you can heal too. That's heavy. That's heavy, but that's going to be happening for someone. That taps us right back into this eighth house energy, this shamanic energy. So that doesn't seem like a blessing on the surface, but the ability to see the truth there, the secret that's being exposed, that was nagging. When we talk about the subconscious, that was nagging in your subconscious, whoever this is for a really long time. And it was preventing you from being able to step into your life, into yourself in some type of meaningful way. Whether this was, I feel like hindering your ability to have deep, intimate, fulfilling connection and relationships. But it could be in another level too, your ability to communicate, to see eye to eye. It was affecting your relationships, I think, primarily. Maybe career, but definitely relationships and human interactions. And when that truth comes out, even though it's painful, it's like a hidden blessing. It's the gem that's going to allow the healing to occur through the awareness and then through the processing of the trauma that then allows for you to release that and move into a much healthier relationship dynamic, a much healthier relationship with yourself and with your family, because you may have felt estranged from your sibling. And part of that might have been the trauma that you two shared that was perhaps repressed or suppressed. And or your inability, like perhaps you two remembered things in a different way and you weren't able to reconcile the different ways that you remembered a situation happening. So you stopped kind of connecting with each other. I'm feeling for some people, it's like this happened a while ago. Like perhaps they actually had come out with this, like this remembrance of something that had happened between the two of you. And it really like rubbed you the wrong way because you didn't remember anything about this and you thought that they were making it up, or you thought that they just simply weren't well, and it drove a wedge between you. And now maybe an unconscious memory is popping back up and all of a sudden you realize, oh, that did happen. Or, oh, my memory of that isn't 100% accurate. And so you reach out to them and you're able to, they tell you about something that they've been doing, some type of therapy, something that's been helping them connect. EMDR, I'm feeling maybe for somebody, or past, I don't know. But you're able to begin healing this as well and begin healing your relationship with them. That's just going to be for somebody. For everybody else, it's just like if there have been ways that you and your siblings haven't seen eye to eye, you're coming into a healing around some of them. Or you're healing wounds from your childhood, from your formative years, your educational years, your school years. Any of that type of energy, or just like really rewiring the way that your brain works, the default mechanisms of your brain that have kept you from being able to achieve fulfillment and success. Like getting a deeper awareness and an ability to actually like act upon that awareness, or be like, okay, I see that faulty perception. Now this is how I shift that. This is how I flip it. We call it flipping the script. It's like, perhaps you've been aware of the negative belief systems, but you haven't quite been able to flip the script on them. This energy is where you flip the script. This conjunction of Uranus and Jupiter is assisting you in that process. All right. And then we have opposition with Aries. All right. Some of you guys pay attention to what's opposing this conjunction in your chart. Some of you guys may be fire signs, or we just have so much going on with Aries, right? Having had that eclipse in Aries, Mercury retrograde in Aries, everything going on in Aries, Aries season. When this conjunction occurs, it will be the beginning of Taurus season, which is really beautiful energy, right? But just coming out of Aries season. On the tail end there, right? Oh, and isn't that interesting? The eclipse on April 20th, 2023 was at 29 degrees of Aries. The Jupiter, the conjunction here, it is happening well within Taurus, but the sun is going to be moving from 29 Aries into 0 degrees of Taurus during this conjunction. So it's interesting, that energy of really completing something. I'm feeling with these karmic energies here that are completing, relating to the Aries energy as well as the Taurus energy. All right, either or. There's a balance here. So we're being asked to look at the energy of what's being reflected to us, what's being mirrored to us. It's like an ability to work with that mirroring energy in a way that's constructive. Let's see here. There's also an energy of empowerment here, of really stepping into our power. People who've been afraid of conflict, it's like being able to handle themselves within conflict, having that courage and that confidence to stand their ground. Very Seven of Wands kind of an energy, to stand up for what they believe in, to hold their ground under opposition or criticism, right? To not just fold, but to stand strong in their beliefs and their values and their morals and ideals, which is very much Jupiterian energy as well as Taurus energy, right? What we value, how we value ourselves, and what we believe in. This is what Taurus energy represents. Value, self-worth. It does represent money and finances being that second house, but it's all about this energy of the stability and security, being stable and secure in the self. All right? Yeah. Trying to feel if there's anything else here. Yeah, Spirit just wants us to really pay attention to what is being mirrored back to us, what our reality is being mirrored back to us, or is mirroring back to us rather, during this time. What's coming into our consciousness? What's being sparked within us? What impulse, what fire, what passion, what desire, what drive? All right. Aries is called the fire starter. All right. So there's an energy here with the fire starter. Okay. We are being activated to become the fire starter. All right. That's a great song. I'm thinking of that song now by Prodigy, Fire Starter. Some of you guys might want to listen to that. But it's that energy of being the initiator in our own lives. All right? Being the initiator, being in that Seven of Wands energy, standing our ground, fighting for what we believe in. All right? Having that courage. Yeah. Strength in the face of adversity. And personal power with the Scorpio card on the bottom of the deck there. Mars underneath that, which is a ruler of Scorpio as well as Aries, traditional ruler of Scorpio, of course, as we know, Pluto being the modern ruler of Scorpio. Oh, yes, that's all about passion there. Passion, desire, the deepest desires of the soul. All right, the deepest desires and the deepest... So Taurus is all about fulfillment as well, right? Security. There's an aspect and an energy of Pluto as representing the deepest subconscious yearnings and emotional needs. All right? The deepest subconscious needs and yearnings of the soul. So I feel those really being exposed in a way that invites us to take action. It's like we see what we value, we see what we desire, what we need in a sense, right? In order to be fulfilled in this lifetime. And then we have the opportunity to go and get it. And the way forward for many of us is revealed when we step into our power, when we step into our faith, when we step into and embody our truth. But remember, it's the way forward. We're working with a lot of Aries energy here still. And Taurus can be very stubborn as well. Taurus can be that bull that just kind of pushes through with its horns. It's not about pushing through. It's not about forcing anything. Clear. Remember, semi-sextile, trine, sextile. It's all about surrendering into the flow. Yeah. Got Kundalini energy here as well. This is gonna be wild, you guys. We're gonna do more on this, clear, as we move closer to this conjunction. All right. But this is going to be all for today. I love you, honor you, respect you. Go ahead and hit that like button if you have not yet. Go ahead and subscribe if you're still watching this video. Like I always say, you obviously belong to this tribe. We are 28 minutes in right now. So if you guys want to book a personal session with me, all of my information is in the description box below. Much love for now.